Hello, my Haka Daisies. This is Mrs. Hunter, and I wanted to just follow up with you guys regarding our lesson for today on quadrilaterals. Today we were working in our composition notebook on creating a quadrilateral foldable for our notes and as a resource. And what I've asked you to do is start to create a special foldable. And so now you should have something that's going to look like this. Most of you got to the part where you were able to cut out the diagram that describes how quadrilaterals are organized. They're organized by parallelograms, trapezoids, and kites. And so then I asked you to also cut out the definitions for each one of these main parts of a quadrilateral, or that main diagrams or pictures for a quadrilateral, along with the definition. So behind the very first cover, you should have something that looks like this, that shows a rhombus and a rectangle. These are two separate tabs that fall underneath the parallelogram. You should have the rhombus with the picture as well as the definition, and this was a strip, so now it's cut in half so it actually fit underneath this tab. Likewise, you have rectangle and then the definition of a rectangle. Now, the next thing you should have done, or that you should do tonight, is you should have two arrows that point to one long strip that describes what a square is. After you have this entire tab completed, then I want you to go to the next page. The next page, you should have kites, parallelograms, and trapezoids. We have not discussed kites, and I did not give you a picture or a diagram for kites, but I want you to, we'll do that tomorrow or the next day, and we will discuss what a kite is. But I do want you to cut out parallelogram as the diagram as well as the definition, and then trapezoids with the definition. The last sheet, if you have glue and you have time, I want you to then cut out the other picture. There was a very large picture that looks like this. I want you to cut that out and make a nice little rectangular shape and glue that underneath the tab that is the base tab called quadrilaterals. And as you see, it's showing kites, trapezoids, and parallelograms. So when you are done with your homework tonight, you're going to have something that looks like this. Now mine is very plain and very just regular with pencil. I would love it if you would highlight each one of your tabs in a nice color to make it pop, and then quadrilaterals is your overall base topic, so make that pop as well and bring it out with some nice color with a Sharpie or some other type of marker. And then tomorrow we're going to go into most of the definitions, if not all of the definitions, for what a parallelogram is, a trapezoid, or a kite. But I'm going to give you a hint. And this is what you should study tonight. The answer key is here, already written out. Kites have no pairs of parallel sides, but they have two sets or two pairs of congruent sides. And remember that congruent means the same size or the same. Trapezoids have one pair of parallel sides, and so this is a trapezoid. Then there's something called an isosceles trapezoid, and I want you guys to guess what that means based off of our already discussion, our previous discussions on what isosceles mean. Then parallelograms have two pairs of parallel sides. So you have a rectangle, rhombus, and a square. And you notice that each of these have two sets of parallel sides. But then there's some more division between what is the difference between a rectangle and a square. And what is the difference between a rhombus and a square. In either case, a square can be either rhombus and it can also be a rectangle. So tomorrow we're going to discuss how these are classified, and I want you to come to class prepared to discuss why can a square be a rectangle and why a square can be a rhombus. But a rhombus is not a square and a rectangle is not a square. Come to class tomorrow prepared to discuss more about quadrilaterals. Thank you, girls, and I'll talk to you soon.